The AVerMedia Elite Go takes everything that the Core Go does and makes it even better. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. One of the coolest features about the Extra Go is the ability to do onboard recording for all of you streamers and YouTubers who want a great way to capture your footage. But the form factor is maybe a little bit weird, especially if you're the creator on the go. And that's where the Elite Go should really shine. So for us to figure out how this thing works and explore it completely, we'll open it up and take a deep dive. In true AVerMedia style, they know I'm not going to read the instruction manual, so they've put the quick start cheat sheet right on the cover. So as soon as I open the flap, there's no way for me to miss how to hook this thing up. But you guys don't need to know because I'm going to walk you through exactly how this thing works anyway. We've got a power adapter, got another power adapter, USB cable, and that instruction manual that I told you I wasn't going to read anyway. And before I deep dive into this product, which is really small but packs a lot of features, I want to look at this USB-C cord because it seems a little bit special. First off, it is very long, which I can tell just by trying to untangle this thing. I'm about 6 feet tall and it is about 7 feet long, but also this white color is amazing. I love this white color, but it's really fat and it's braided, so it's extra durable. And just to get an idea how fat this really is, let's compare it to a regular USB-C cable. Now that's what we're looking at right here. You can see how much fatter this white cable is over this black one. And that's just a testament to how thick the wires are in here. And it's really important because we have the ability to carry a lot of power from this block through this cable to whatever device we're trying to charge. Gams Go. Are you paying too much for Netflix, Spotify, Disney+, Crunchyroll, Duolingo, Canva, or Adobe? Gams Go has you covered with premium shared subscriptions for a fraction of the price directly from the distributor. Yes, Gams Go is the shared premium experience that you've been looking for that saves a ton of money. I personally use Gams Go for my Netflix, my Spotify, my Disney+, and my Crunchyroll subscriptions, and I have saved tons of money by switching to Gams Go. This is truly an amazing deal. You don't want to miss it. Click the link down below to grab your deal. Now that we've got a chance to take a closer look at the Elite Go itself, I want to bring out the Extra Go. And if we turn it around, then we can compare port for port what each one of these does. Now, first of all, we've got the game device port on the Extra Go. That would be equivalent to this guy right here, which is USB-C1, which is your USB in connection. If you need a video feed, it's coming off that USB 1. It will charge, but it also pulls all the video data exactly the same as this port here. Now the second port on this guy is the power port. That's because this is not powered directly. So this needs to be powered up with a separate brick. You could use something like this as your power brick, but you're not going to want to because this is probably at home and this is all you have. And I'll explain why in a minute. But this guy gets power by plugging it directly into the wall. This is a flip out USA plug, but if you're in a different country, this just slides on like that and allows you to plug it into the wall and power the device. And they're both interchangeable, just like that. Now it makes it not quite as sleek. It's easily removable, so you can stow that in your luggage, flip that plug up, and you're okay. If you're in Canada or the USA like me, then you can use the flip out plug and that will power the device. There is no separate dongle or power supply of any sort needed, and that's why we don't have that same power plug. Next up, we have the HDMI port, which this one also has an HDMI port, and then two USB-A ports. Now the USB-A ports on this dock are for connecting a keyboard, microphone, mouse, whatever it is you like. This USB-A port will also actually support a keyboard, a mouse, and or a microphone. You could use the Versati Go mic with this system. Now, because it only has one USB-A port, I strongly suspect that we could plug in a hub and connect all three. They just don't have a lot of space to add all of those into this one device, especially when you consider how small it is. We'll cover the specs of the size in a minute, but it's already really small and they're doing a lot to get what they do have in here already. Now finally, we have the final USB-C port, just like this guy has, which gives you the video output to your USB, which you can connect to your laptop to capture all of your video through your favorite streaming software. And that's pretty much everything that we have for ports here. But I want to show you guys exactly how you're going to hook this up, because it can get a little confusing what everything's for. So let me take my switch and walk you through exactly how you're going to use this thing on the daily. Now, first off, you're going to plug this into the wall. Now, I'm not going to plug it into the wall because I'm going to have a hard time showing it to you guys, but we flip this out, we plug it into the wall. This is now plugged into the wall and it's ready to power some devices. So we take our Nintendo Switch in this case, and we plug this into the top USB port here. So we plug in our USB-C cord into here, and then we plug this into our switch. Now our switch is plugged into the wall, it's charging, and it's happy. And everything's fine. You can use it exactly like this, just like you normally would, just to keep your switch charged, exactly how you do with the regular switch charger. But what do you do when all of a sudden you find yourself with a bunch of friends and they want to play Smash Bros? Well, it would be so much better on a TV. That's where this HDMI port comes into. If you plug in the HDMI cord from here to the TV, this will function the same as if you have it plugged into the regular Nintendo Switch dock. This fully replaces the Switch dock. 100% no Switch dock needed anymore. This does everything. It'll charge your Switch, put it into docked mode, and output HDMI to the TV. That's amazing. But what if you don't have a Switch? What if you have a different portable handheld? Well, this fully supports any handheld that supports USB-C video output. That includes cell phones, it includes laptops, it includes most gaming devices, and it includes so much more. Anything that can output a video signal through USB-C can go into here and switch it to an HDMI. I could plug in my laptop into this and put it onto the TV through that HDMI cable. This becomes the multimedia gateway to unlock endless possibilities. But most of you already know that the Core Go already does all of that. So what does this do that the Core Go doesn't? Well, I can take the extra USB-C cord that they brought, plug that in like this, and then I can plug it into my computer, and suddenly this is a USB-C capture card. This will take the video signal from my Switch. It will put it out to the TV exactly like you want, but it will also put it out to my laptop, which I can now use with all my favorite streaming software to do a video capture. I can live stream from my Switch, from my cell phone, from my favorite gaming handheld through this AVerMedia device and put it out through YouTube, Twitch, whatever. This is the all-in-one hub. That is the main feature that the Core Go does not have, and that's the biggest difference between the two. If you don't need the ability to live stream your video content from the USB-C port, then the Core Go is the product you're looking for. This is the GC313. But for my streaming friends, you want the GC313 Pro. That's what gives you this streaming capability. Now, we did also talk about that USB-A port. This still allows me to plug in a keyboard and a mouse and use it to control my Switch. So I can control my Switch with keyboard and mouse while I'm playing on the TV and while I'm streaming on my live stream. So it gives you a full multimedia setup from this Switch and this one little device. It truly is extremely powerful. Now, for my friends out there who are truly interested in this product, you probably want to know some of the specs. How much power can it actually put out? What can I do with it? And so on. So let's cover that for you. First off, this is a US foldable pin adapter that has the multi-voltage adapters that clip onto it. It supports 100 volts up to 240 volts. The USB output through USB C1 and C2 port is 5 volts at 15 watts, 9 volts at 27 watts, 12 volts at 36 watts, 15 volts at 45 watts, and 20 volts at a staggering 100 watts. The USB-A port will charge devices at 5 volts up to 5 watts. Now, these are the maximum wattages this device can put out through one port. It cannot do 100 watts to one USB port and 100 watts to the other USB port at the same time. And part of that is, this is a small package. It is using GaN technology. GaN stands for gallium nitride. Now, gallium nitride has a much stronger resistance to heat, and it does not generate as much heat with as much power going through it. So it allows them to pack all of this into a really small package, but there are still some limitations about how much heat it can generate and still be safe. So they have to restrict the output to all of the ports if you're trying to pull from everything all at once. We can do both USB-C ports with 45 watts each, or we can do one USB-C port with 100 watts and still support 5 watts out of the USB-A port. If we're using both USB-C ports and the USB-A port, we'll get a maximum of 45 watts out of each USB-C port and still 5 watts out of the USB-A port. They do have some overload protection built in, short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, over voltage protection, and over temperature protection. Now that's really important because if you accidentally plug in some really high current devices into this, it will just stop working. It'll shut you down. The fix for that is to simply unplug everything, unplug this from the wall, plug it back in, and then pick only one of those high power devices to plug back in and charge one at a time. If you must have them both going at the same time, you have to see if there's some way to adjust the maximum current that they're charging at just to try and keep it within the range of what this device can support. For those of you that are going to use the HDMI output, it will support 4K at 60 frames per second. And for those of you who are using the video capture, it will support 1080p at 60 frames per second. The dimensions of the unit are 2.6 inches wide by 1.44 inches deep by 2.44 inches high, and it weighs about 8.82 ounces. Now, I don't know about you, but I am extremely impressed with everything that they've packed into this thing. And as somebody who actually travels a fair amount, I'm always looking for a power brick that can do everything. And this truly does. I can take my laptop, my cell phone, my gaming device, and all of my camera gear and charge it all through this one media center. But it also allows me to connect to a TV and get those gaming sessions through my console where everyone can enjoy the fun without having to drag along my big, bulky switch dock. I really was enjoying the idea of the extra go to take on the go, but this is my new favorite travel companion, simply because it has all the power I need to charge up my laptop, my cell phone, and everything, and still gives me that gaming side that I really need for a lot of my content that I'm making. For you guys though, there's a lot of really unique ways that you can use this to really enhance your experience while you're on the go. And I guess that's what the AVerMedia line of products is really all about. They really understand the problems that I experience and probably many of you experience, and they solve them in unique ways that are really interesting, but also pack a ton of technology. I'm really excited to see what else they add to the Go line of products. If you're interested in any of the products that we looked at in this video or that you may have seen here, I will put a link in the description down below where you can grab those. And be sure to stay tuned to this channel because future videos will review even more of the Go product line. If you have questions, go ahead and ask in the comments. I comment on just about all of them, and some of these questions actually warrant a whole nother video, and I don't mind making one to show you guys a little bit better how some of this stuff works if you need to see it. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video. We'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. you'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.